I'm Peter Bois.
I'm Gus Davis, and welcome to Monday Club.
Are you a touring magician? Are you a game show host? Then you probably don't have Mondays off, but we do. So come hang out with us on a Monday. Monday is the new Saturday. Oh, welcome to Monday Club! Hello, all you wonderful people in podcast land. I am Peter Bois, and this is my good friend Gus Davis. We are your masters of Monday this week. In this week's episode, we cheers to Watermelon Super Eaters. Monday Club is on Spotify. Woohoo! Justice League Fight is on between me and Gus. Dirty little football quiz. Gus is now a road vegetarian. What the hell is that? And we have a couple of incredibly nice and thoughtful teachable moments. Welcome to Monday Club. Cheers!
Cheers! Oh, man, it is so good to see you. Seriously, and I mean this from the bottom of my heart, Pete. I wasn't sure I was going to get out of bed today, and then I looked, and it was Monday, and I was like, oh, well, then in that case, let's do this, man.
This is the day to party.
It is.
You don't want to miss that.
It is so good to see you.
Thanks for getting out of bed.
We have a lot to do in this episode. Before we get into it, I think I want to go ahead and put the warning out there for our listeners that we are going to get into a pretty massive like DC Justice League movie nerd talk. And we'll go ahead and post where you can start and stop that talk if you haven't watched the movie yet. So just if you don't want any spoilers, if you are hanging on to wait to see this movie, Justice League, we're going to make sure that you don't have any spoilers later on.
Yeah, that's coming up in a bit. We'll definitely give you the heads up to skip if you don't want spoilers. This fight, well, we'll get to it. Before that, we're cheersing to Watermelon Super Eaters. Now, you probably thought, there's no such thing as Watermelon Super Eaters, but there is.
There is. You should totally check this. You should stop what you're doing and watch this link real quick. It's a really quick video. I mean, it only takes like a minute or so. It's not that long. But I'll tell you guys, there are some super eaters out there, some people who can quick eat, that are just, it looks like a magic trick. Right?
Yeah.
In fact, it looks so much like a magic trick that the video shows these people, like one person sitting next to the other person. They both have a giant piece of watermelon in front of them, and it's like they go ready, set, go, and before the first person can put the watermelon to their lips, the other person is completely done. And they all look around like, well, what the hell? What just happened?
They're watermelon dazed. They just got hit with a wet watermelon. Smackdown on their eating skills.
Oh my God, it's awesome. It really is. And I mean, and it looks like, it sort of looks like the person just takes the watermelon and starts like from left to right and just shoves the entire piece of fruit in their mouth, and then there's nothing but rind left. And then they usually just get up and like walk away. It's like they drop the mic of watermelon eating on it.
Yeah, they drop the rind. They're like, I'm out.
It's like, I'm out.
And then they go ping, 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 ping with all the seeds. I don't even know how I guess they just shove it all in their mouths really quick, and it looks like they're going back and forth like the typewriter technique of a corn on the cob, and they're like, whoosh, and it's done.
And it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like when we were watching those videos of people who can chug beer. It's like, I wonder who would win, the beer chug or the watermelon speed eaters.
That's a video we need to put out there.
That'd be a good race.
Yeah, that'd be a great race.
I think my money's on the. I think my money is actually on the watermelon people, because it's insanely fast.
Yeah, I think we'd have to figure out how many ounces of watermelon compared to how many ounces of liquid beer they're drinking. Right? You'd have to try to get it ounce for ounce.
I guess. I mean, if you want to make it sciencey.
I get technical, man. I'm all about the details. Was this a fair fight, or was there one-sided here?
I love that. It's like if we're gonna do pay-per-view, then it's got to be exactly equal.
Yeah. It's 12.32. Oh, and you owe me for that chip you dropped on the floor.
Yeah, well, dude, if Monday Club can make it happen, we're gonna put together a watermelon eating versus beer drinking competition. It'll be shown on ESPN 73 at 2:00 in the morning on Wednesdays.
Do they have you ever done this where you fill a watermelon with vodka?
Yeah.
Yeah?
That was watermelons and what are those? Oranges. You can also inject oranges with vodka.
Really?
And then you can look like you're super healthy while you're sitting in class in college, but really you're getting faded during chemistry class.
Interesting. That's a very specific reference you had there.
No, I'm just saying, I'm not speaking from experience, obviously. I'm just saying that that's something that one could do.
You painted
possibly.
a very vivid picture, Gus.
So, have you ever entered into a eating contest, like a speed eating contest?
No, I think it's somewhat fascinating and gross at the same time, and I think it's really bad for you. I don't have any scientific proof about this, but my instincts tell me that it's terrible for your body to eat that much that quickly.
Yeah, that's probably true. When I was in college, there was a Wendy's that was in the middle of campus that everyone would go to. And I happened to be walking through, I guess I was doing some homework or something like that in the Union, and I walked through, and as I was walking past, they rang a bell and got on the loudspeaker and said, "Hey, we're doing a Frosty eating contest for anybody that wants to participate." And I was like, "Oh, hells yeah." So I go over there, probably there's 10 of us, and they line us up, and they give us 3 of the smallest kid-size Frosties, right? And the idea is whoever can finish all 3 Frosties the fastest gets, I don't know, free Wendy's for a week. I don't remember what the prize was, but it didn't matter. I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. So I lined up, and the guy who was to my right is the guy who ended up winning, and I kid you not, it was the same speed as which the watermelons disappeared.
Damn.
I took a spoon and ate, like, maybe I got 2 bites, maybe, of the first Frosty, and he had slammed all 3 down and was done.
That's incredible.
And I got a brain freeze off of the first 2 bites that I took. Like I was already in pain from like 2 bites. And he was done with all 3.
I was just going to mention that how bad his brain must have hurt after that.
Oh my god, it was awful. It was terrible. But yeah, I didn't watch him, but I just assumed that he just squoze them out like Popeye squeezes spinach and just 1, 2, 3, and he was done. It was insane.
That's crazy. My uncle entered a Moxie drinking competition. Do you know what Moxie is?
No.
You don't know what Moxie is?
No, what's Moxie?
Is the Maine State soda. It is in an orange. It's infamous. It's it's in this orange container, just Moxie. It was created a few towns over from me, from where I grew up in Maine, and it tastes awful. It is the worst tasting thing you have ever put. If you imagine, I like Dr. Pepper, but imagine Dr. Pepper mixed with cherry cough syrup and dial it up 10 notches. It's the most disgusting thing you've ever tasted in your entire life.
Oh,
so
no.
And
that sounds like one of those old school, like with the cowboys, and they would open up, like the medicine man would come into town, and he would open it up and be like, "Hey, try this, it'll cure your rheumatoid."
I think that's exactly what it was intended for. Rheumatoid infections. I don't know what that is. But yeah, he drank an obscene amount of Moxie in a short amount of time, and then after he won, he threw it all back up, I think, in the porta potty. But
oh my god, I can't even imagine. I watched a video. Weird tangent. Sorry, guys. I watched a video one time of, it was a speed eater who was eating Peeps. Do you know, like during marshmallow? Yeah, the marshmallow Peeps that you can put in your microwave and have them expand. Anyway, he was eating Peeps, and I think he ate 100 Peeps in less than 3 minutes, or less than 2 minutes. I don't remember how fast he did it, but it looked like this. He would put a Peep in, grab another Peep, and push it. It just looked like he was loading a Pez dispenser the entire time, just pushing, and he was just literally pushing them down his throat. It was gross.
Yeah. with that, cheers to cheers to watermelon super eaters. Raise a glass and cheers our super eater overlords of watermelons.
Oh my God.
I am drinking this week a very special drink.
You are.
Last
You are
week.
drinking a very special drink. I'm really happy for you.
Yeah, this drink is free today. Gus, how much did you pay for your drink today?
I paid full price for mine. How much did you pay?
I paid $0 because amazing Rob Balchunas. Rob, do you mind if I just call you Balchunas? I love that last name. It's a great name. Bought me a drink and did not buy Gus a drink. So thank you very much for my drink this week, Balchunas. And it's a creative drink. He told me I had to buy a a culotta of my choice and mix it with any liquor or whatever that I deemed that would go well with it. And at first I thought, oh, this is kind of a crazy idea. But then I tasted it, and I think he is a freaking genius. I want to start my morning with this every morning. So I got a coffee culotta, and I put 2 ounces of Irish cream in it, and it's amazing.
I'm so jealous. What sucks, Rob, that you can't see him, but Pete, every time he takes a sip, he smirks and smiles at me, and it's basically like he's flicking me off the entire episode. So, I mean, I'm happy for you, Pete. Thanks, Rob, for your support for one of us. We appreciate that. We love you, buddy. I am sitting here. I realize, Pete, that I took my last flight of the year. Everything else that I'm doing for the rest of the year is all driving. So on my last flight, my drink of choice on airplanes is a Jack and Ginger. So Jack Daniels and the obligatory ginger ale that everybody gets on airplanes. So I made myself my own Jack and Ginger today. So I've got some ginger ale and poured a pretty hefty amount of Jack in there, put some ice in there, and I'm kind of kicking back and relaxing and cheersing to my own not traveling on airplanes anymore this year.
Yeah, don't be sorry. That's a great drink. That's my go-to bar drink. Whenever someone's like, "Hey, you drink it?" I'm like, "Jack and Ginger." Boom.
Yeah, it's a really, and it kind of settles your stomach too, while also pouring alcohol in it. So it's good.
So thank you, Balchunas, for my drink. And thank you guys for listening, being part of the club. Make sure you give us a little love on iTunes. Give us a little rating and review up there. It helps spread the word. Tell your friends about us, about Monday Club, and tell them to join the club. We want to grow this bigger. We have so many ideas. We just are waiting to grow larger and get better at this. So we have so many ideas to take Monday Club. Also, we have some news. The podcast is now available on different spots, on places. So you can subscribe in your favorite podcast app. You can check it out on iTunes, which there's an app for iOS. And you can listen to it directly from our website. You can take the... Libsyn, our podcast publisher, sent me an email that we could now get it on Spotify. So I immediately went in there and said, yes, send our podcast to Spotify. So now you can listen to Monday Club on Spotify, and also found we could put it on the Google Play Store. So I did that too. And then I found we could put it on iHeartRadio. So then I did that too. And then I realized, well, we can publish these audios to YouTube. So they're going to our YouTube channel now. So more ways to listen, giving you more ways to party on a Monday.
So, just to recap, you got it on Spotify, the Google Play Store, iHeartRadio, on YouTube, on Libsyn, on the iTunes Store, or on the podcast app, and off of our website. Those are all the ways that you can listen?
That is correct, sir.
Oh, my God. Well, hey, I raise my glass to Pete Bois for all of his backstage hard work, man. There you go.
Thank you, man. Thank you. And last week we mentioned a giveaway. We're going to be giving away a official Monday Club mug. The only catch is we're going to give it away to somebody on our email newsletter list. So go to MondayClubPodcast.com, and right there in the margin you'll see a place to put your name and email and press submit. You'll get an email that says verify your email, and click on that when you get that email, and you will be entered to win, no purchase necessary, entered to win a Monday Club mug. And we're going to do that drawing on our Christmas podcast, because I looked ahead in our calendar And guess what day Christmas falls on?
What day does it fall on?
On a Monday!
Yeah!
So we will be partying Monday Club style on Christmas for you guys, and we'll be giving away some stuff for
God.
Christmas.
I have to go get so much eggnog and rum. That's I'm so excited.
That's a great idea.
I was excited about Christmas before, but now, all right, it's on. Hey man, speaking of YouTube, I just saw on the old social medias that you dropped a YouTube video. Do you want to tell about that?
Sure. Last year I recorded a Rudolph magic trick for YouTube, and I made a little video. It's a little holiday spirit video. It's a trick about Rudolph and a touching story about Rudolph the Misfit with a fun surprise ending. So check it out. If you go to where's a good place? The easiest, youtube.com/Peter Bois, or if you go to petermagician.com and go to the video section, you can find it there too. Or I'll just put a link in the show notes.
There you go. Awesome. Dude, so I watched your video, and one of the things that I love about your magic is that you put a tiny piece of you and your actual story into your magic, into your stories that go along with the magic. And it was really cool listening to the patter that went along with this Rudolph trick, because I can tell that some of that was like 100% genuine about you growing up. Is that true?
All of it was 100% genuine. The beginning I say, I didn't feel like I fit in. I felt like I was from another planet, Mars. I literally convinced myself or thought that I was an alien, Martian, from another planet for years of my life.
You get your census and it's like, which one do you check? And you're like, other Martian. Yeah. Is there scholarship money for that, or how does that work?
Martian, Caucasian, I can't say it. Yeah. So people thought I was joking around, and I kind of said it with a little smirk when I was a kid, but then I would go away and be like, oh, they don't really know. I'm really from another planet. There's no way I'm from here.
They're so racist. You speciest. Oh, all right,
speciest.
Man. So I have a quick story for you, man. So
all right.
Yesterday I was reading a book with Bryce. It was bedtime, so it's like 8:00 at night, and we're laying there and we're still reading the Percy Jackson books, and I'm plowing through the books. I'm being a good dad. I'm trying to do good voices and stuff like that. And so I'm concentrating on the book. And because he's 9, he's a wiggle worm, right? Like, he just moves around a lot. And I've learned to kind of ignore that while I'm reading, because that's just what kids do. They fidget. But finally, I noticed he was like tapping me really hard. And I was like, Bryce, stop tapping me. He's like, Dad, there's a spider. And I was like, yeah, okay, that's cool. There's spiders in the world. Like, it's fine. It's, it'll eat mosquitoes. It's good. So I keep reading, and he keeps tapping me, and he's like, Dad, it's a big spider. And I was like, yeah, it's fine. So I keep reading some more. Then he taps me again. He's like, Dad, it's a really big spider. And so I look up, and on his drapes that are covering his window, dude, I'm not joking. It was about half the size of my hands, and I have basketball player hands. I mean, it was a huge brown spider. It was It was big enough that I could see the eyes of the spider from where I was sitting. It was big.
Oh my God.
I was like, oh shit. That's a big spider. And he's like, I've been trying to tell you for like 10 minutes.
Quick, get your lightsaber.
Right. So then it did the spider thing where it moved, and I was like, uh-oh, this aggression shall not stand. So then
that was the first act of war that you allowed you to commit your full artillery.
I mean, I had already recognized that there was some spider aggression by it just existing inside the house. But then it moved, and I was like, nope, it's me or you, guy. So then I have this weird, like,
real quick,
you're a dad.
It's a brown spider, right?
It's a brown spider.
Is that poisonous? I don't know my spiders.
I believe it's venomous.
Venomous?
Yes. Like tree frogs are poisonous. Things that bite you are venomous.
Is it venomous?
I believe all spiders have, maybe not all, but most spiders are venomous.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to go with this one's a deadly venom.
I'm going to say that this one probably could take our faces. Yeah. I mean, that's what it looked like. Yeah. So anyway, then I'm in this weird situation where I need to show my son how to deal with giant spiders while not peeing my pants that I'm about to face a giant spider, right? So I go into the kitchen and all I can find is like some Tupperware with, giant plastic Tupperware. And so my plan is to just go up and catch it like cymbal style, like just catch it inside the Tupperware. And I walk up to the spider about to do that, and I don't want to say it looked at me, but I could tell it was aware that some shit was about to go down. And I was like, man, if this spider jumps at me, I'm going to piss in front of my son, and that's not going to be a good role model. So then I went back, and I did what any good dad would do. I was like, it is time to break out the power tools. So I went, and we have a really good vacuum cleaner with a long suction hose. And
You're going to suction up the spider?
Hell yeah. I plugged that thing. I don't think spiders have ears, so it didn't know what was coming. So I turned the vacuum cleaner on, and then put the suction cup thing right up on it, and it tried to move, and then it just got sucked right into the vacuum cleaner, and yeah, that totally took care of the spider. Then I took the thing outside and burned my vacuum cleaner, because just in case
it didn't get sucked into the bag.
Yeah. You got to put the vacuum cleaner on the burn pile.
That was my question. What if it didn't get sucked into the bag and it lived in your vacuum cleaner and spun webs, and then it started making babies, and then one night they all hatched, and then you had monster spiders crawling around your house late at night and crawled into bed with you and ate you?
Well, you will all know, because my house will be burnt to the fucking ground, and I will be living somewhere else.
Man. I just got the chills.
Yep. Big spider fight.
Yeah.
Speaking of fights, Justice League is coming up, but we need to mention something first. All right, go ahead.
So our friend of the show and our second guest on Monday Club ever, our very, very good friend Nate Standiforth, he wrote a book, and we mentioned this in his podcast. It's Fuck, There's a Needle Going Through My Foot podcast. Look it up. I don't remember what number. Right. He tells some amazing stories in that episode. So he wrote a book, and it's finally going to be released. We've been hearing about this infamous book for a few years now, right? I just gave him lip service. I'm like, sure. Go, all right, Nate, you're writing a book. Good. And then it actually came out, and it's like published by real publishers and everything, and you can buy it on Amazon, and it's like crazy. So it's ready for pre-orders right now, and you can get it on Amazon. I have pre-ordered one book. I forced my wife to pre-order a second book. I know, Gus, you have some pre-ordered as well.
I do. In fact, I decided that to help our buddy out and also to help spread the word, we were going to, here at Monday Club, we're going to go ahead and order 4 extra copies of Nate's book. And for the next 4 weeks, that's going to be the prize for winning our Dirty Little Football quiz. So we'll send out a copy of Nate's book to one lucky winner of our Dirty Little Football quiz. And if you could do us a huge favor when you get that book, or when you receive the notification that you won, help spread the love and spread the word, and let's try to get Nate on the #1 bookseller list. That way we could all say that we have an actual intellectual in the Monday Club.
Yeah, because this was explained to me by Nate that pre-orders actually have a lot to do with how many books are ordered and if they make it onto this bestsellers list. That's the whole metric they use to judge whether a book is going to be successful before it even comes out.
Right.
So if the more pre-orders he has, the better it's going to do for him. So go ahead and just put in a pre-order. It's $18 on Amazon. And and totally worth it. I mean, not only are you supporting a great guy and a great cause, but the book is awesome. It's a really, really, really awesome book. I mean, you'll enjoy the book. You've read it?
Parts of it.
Huh. I did not get an advanced copy, Nate. Well, I'm fine. I will read it with all of you Monday Clubbers out there. And the link will be in the show notes to buy that. And I'll also link Nate's episode in the show notes, too, so you can listen to that. So, yeah, help support Nate, Monday Clubber.
Really, I just wanted to make you feel jealous for a minute, like I'm feeling jealous of your coffee drink. I haven't read any of it.
Oh, you haven't?
But that feeling you felt, that's how I feel every time I see you take a sip.
Oh, yeah, like this?
Yep. Just
that was really good.
Asshole.
Spoiler warning. Spoiler warning. Skip to 41 minutes and 3 seconds if you haven't seen Justice League yet. You have been warned.
All right, friends, here we go. Put your nerd goggles on for just a second because we need to talk about something. Both Pete and I are big comic book nerds. Now, there are definitely people out there that are bigger comic book nerds than me. I don't even want to pretend I'm in the top 10% of the comic book nerddom. But recently, there have been a huge debate that people are fighting over the Marvel Cinematic Universe and these DC movies that have come out that are trying to sort of be in opposition to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And let's get some ground rules out of the way for this debate. Really, what Pete and I prepared for is specifically the Justice League movie, all right? If you haven't seen the Justice League movie, it's the movie that came out that includes Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman, Cyborg, Aquaman, and The Flash. This movie is the culmination of the DC extended universe where it brings all of these characters that have sort of been introduced before and puts them all in one film. Well, Marvel has already been doing this for years, and with the Avengers movie and the new Avengers trailer of the with the Infinity Wars just dropped. Have you seen that, by the way?
Yes, the trailer. Yeah, it looks better than Justice League.
It looks badass, all right? Now, let's talk real quick about Marvel, all right? Let's do our due diligence here. Let's talk about the Marvel movies. Have you pretty much seen every Marvel movie, Pete, that has come out?
I believe so, yes. Yes. And wait, before we get in, I don't want to overstate my comic book craziness. I love comic books. I don't read the comic books per se, but I know all these characters very well. I used to read comic books when I was younger. I'm not an active comic, so I'm not up to date on all the news stories and stuff, but I definitely stay very closely tied to the movies that they've been coming out with. So just want to throw that out there.
Yeah, and just before we get any of your letters, when we say comic books, we actually mean graphic novels, and also, just forgive us, we're already drunk. All right. So Marvel. The Marvel movies started off with the Iron Man movie with Robert Downey Jr. taking on the mantle of Iron Man, right?
Yep.
I think even to this day that was one of the best movies that it didn't have to be a superhero movie. It was one of the most fun times I've had going to the movie theater in a long, long time. Agree or disagree?
Agree. Yeah. Great movie.
Yeah. Great movie. Fun. I laughed out loud at several spots, and Robert Downey Jr. owned that character. I mean, without a doubt, owned that character. It's like he is to Iron Man as Captain Jack Sparrow is to Johnny Depp.
Yes, he is Iron Man.
He is. Yeah. The famous last lines of the movie, right? Okay. Switching gears to the DC world. Here's my opening salvo to you, Pete.
All right. Wait, should we ring the bell? Ding, ding.
Ding, ding, ding. Okay, yeah. Here's my opening salvo. I'm taking the pro Justice League movie side of this argument.
So
okay?
Gus likes Justice League movie.
That's not what I said. I said I'm taking the pro Justice League side of this movie.
Huh. Okay.
You are taking the con Justice League side of this movie.
I don't have to take. It's just automatic. The movie was terrible.
It's fine. Whatever. It's fine.
Terrible.
Right. Now, here's my opening salvo for the Justice League movie. There are a lot of things that went into this movie that are not good. Okay, like they switched directors in the middle of it. I don't think that they knew what some of the characters were. I think they tried to make it light in spots where they didn't need to make it light. The Flash has too many jester quips in there to be believable. Like there's a lot of things that are slightly off with this movie. But I think if this wasn't the Justice League, if it was just, hey, random superheroes put together to fight this thing, it would have been considered an okay movie. The real problem is that they are using some of the biggest, most iconic superheroes, and they're in this movie, and they're using them in ways that people don't appreciate. Like I think the biggest problem of this movie is that people don't see those, like, they don't see those characters as the beloved mythological characters that they are, and so that is, once you can't get past that, the rest of the movie is seem like crap. But to be pro about this movie, as a movie, without looking at those characters that way, I think people would be like, oh, that was fun.
I disagree completely with what you said.
Okay, hit me.
All right. Here's my take. It doesn't matter about what characters they use and who they use. This story lacked something that all movies, that all stories need. A plot. It had no plot. There was nothing. There was no heart to the movie. You mentioned Flash. I thought Flash was one of the only cool characters in the movie that showed any personality or anything interesting. Him and Aquaman, those were the two most interesting characters in the movie, I thought, because he was badass and the other guy was funny. Everyone else was just kind of like, blah. They were just there, showing up. And I loved Wonder Woman. I thought Wonder Woman, her movie, she was amazing. Awesome movie. It had a great story. You were emotionally involved in what she was doing and what the story was about. I freaking cried during Wonder Woman. I swear to God I did. And and halfway through Justice League, I was starting to get tired, and I just woke up out of, like, I was really trying to get involved in the movie, and then it just, halfway through the movie, they were still introducing characters, and I was like, is this thing over yet? What is this movie about? I had no clue what the movie was about. It was just about introducing badass costumes and characters that we all love, but that's not enough. That's the thing. It doesn't matter the characters. It had no story. It had no heart. It didn't, I mean, sum up what the movie was about. Can you? It's just...
Yeah, sure, I can. The movie was about trying to move the DC universe forward where they have all of the main characters alive and well for the next movie that they're trying to put out.
Exactly! There was no plot. There was no story. It was just, let's throw up a bunch of characters so now we can have our universe like Marvel has. If they would have done it right, they would have had individual movies like Marvel has for all their main characters. And then they would have had great character development. So you would have already been emotionally involved in these characters. So when they show up in the same movie, you don't have to do any backstory. Like, I was fine with how they played Wonder Woman in the movie because you already knew about her. So she didn't need like a big ta-da about her, but I thought she did great. But so I didn't need that for her per se, but all the other characters, they just kind of like threw out there, and it was a mess. It was a mess.
All right, listen,
and even
listen.
Who knows what a mother box is still? Nobody. It's some weird thing. They didn't. Yeah. And I'm not done. The villain, what is Steppenwolf? The villain, right? They had no build up to this villain. Like, it was, I didn't hate the villain. I had no clue what he was trying to do, why I should hate him, why they should hate him. He was just trying to take over the world, apparently. I don't quite know. I'm not even going to compare it to a Marvel movie because I can compare it to Wonder Woman, which was great. It had a villain. The entire movie built up to this nasty villain, right? And then they reveal him at the end, and it's this big, mindfuck. And it was great. And you hated this villain already before the fight. And, let's go to CGI. The CGI sucked. Did you see the villain? He looked like a cartoon. It was pretty ridiculous.
Look. All right.
Should I continue? I have notes here.
Yes, you can. You can continue in just a second. Here's the thing, Pete. I agree with you.
I almost spit my drink out.
I agree with you on everything you just said. I really do. Here's my I would like to recuse myself from being on the board of being pro Justice League because I agree with everything you just said.
You're supposed to like the movie. I thought we were fighting.
Yeah, I know. I saw the movie twice in theater to do my due diligence on this movie, and I had James go with me for science so that we could discuss it. Okay.
Okay.
I still agree with my own personal statement that if you just take it as a movie, as a superhero movie, it was sort of fine, sort of, okay? However, I think the biggest problem of I'm not going to say of the movie, I'm going to say of the DC cinematic universe, the biggest problem is something that you sort of hit on, is that they are assuming that you know a whole lot of backstory on these characters, and that you're just kind of jumping in with prior knowledge. If you are jumping in with prior knowledge, then you kind of know what a mother box is. You might even know who Steppenwolf is, and all of that. It's whatever. It's fine. But that's wrong of them. I think it's wrong of them to assume that is something that everybody is going into these movies knowing those things. The other thing that's wrong with what they're doing, and DC, I know you're listening to our Monday Club podcast, so listen to me very carefully, okay? If that is the path that you're taking, if the path that you're taking is that everyone is supposed to already know what the backstory is here, then you've screwed yourself, because what you did is you're taking a Superman storyline, a Wonder Woman storyline, a Flash storyline, a Cyborg storyline, and you're trying to mix that with the biggest problem of your movie, which is Batman, all right? The Batman storyline that you're trying to mix is old Batman, like 20 years after he started being Batman. Basically, he should have retired a long time ago, and he hasn't yet. So you're trying to take almost retired Batman and throw him in there with those characters. And you've screwed yourself in so many ways. One, with the Suicide Squad, you hint that the Joker killed Robin, because you see in the Batcave Robin's suit with the ha 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 spray painted on there. You remember that?
Actually, you know what? That's the only movie I haven't seen out of this. This.
Oh, you didn't miss anything,
because that's why every time I went to go rent it on iTunes, I was like, "Is this worth $6?" And then I remember everyone saying how shitty it was. So
it's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. But my point is that you have it implied that Joker killed Robin, which is something that happened in the Batman storyline. But you also have it where the Joker that they picked is Jared Leto, looking like a punk-ass kid from high school being the Joker, right? Versus Batman at the time where he's basically in diapers, like as a retiree. So the biggest, most iconic supervillain for Batman is young, and Batman is old. That makes no sense in this universe. And then you're going to put that almost retired Batman into the position of being on this Justice League team. You've screwed your own mythology up really, really, really bad. And so, DC, you got to fix the idea of who the Batman character is in your movies for anyone to care about the big three that are in there. And yeah, I'm going to lose this one. I'm going to go ahead and say, Justice League, I tried really hard. I paid twice to go and see you and really wanted to like you.
They screwed themselves. I'm sorry.
They screwed themselves so hard.
They screwed themselves in that.
CG
they also
is totally right.
Yeah. They also, and his mustache, Superman's mustache, they had to CGI off.
Yeah.
I didn't notice it in the movie, admittedly, but I went back and looked at them, and I did on the YouTube clips. But they screwed themselves out of a lot of money, too, because they could have had origin story movies for all of these characters, right? And also, them assuming that you know a lot about these characters. Sure, I know about these characters and their basic origin stories, but in the movies, it's always different. They always change things up for the movies, or they make choices because there are multiple origin stories for a lot of characters. And they screwed themselves up big time. They could have had individual movies, done it right like Marvel, and led up to this coming together of Justice League and made it a good movie. Then you wouldn't have all these character problems that you have, and then you could have a nice, clean, fun, even if it's a simple plot, you know, there's a bad guy, everyone hates the bad guy, we try to fight the bad guy, small twist at the end, and good guys win. That's fine.
The most important
that's fine,
thing
but just do it right.
the most important thing that Marvel has done right that DC needs to get their ass on if they're ever going to be in this fight at all is that you have to care about the characters, and it has to be a movie that is worth watching, right? And even Thor Ragnarok, which is basically a filler movie. I mean, it doesn't advance the plot of anything. Really?
Well,
I mean,
it takes you that extra half step
whatever,
right up
fine.
to Infinity War.
It's a half step movie. It doesn't matter. I had fun watching that movie. I laughed out loud. I enjoyed the interactions between them, and it sort of satisfied the contract of, hey, we're all moving towards the Earth to have this big ultimate fight. This Justice League movie, it tried to do the exact same thing. They mentioned Darkseid in this movie, like, hey, there's an even bigger, badder guy that's coming, and we all got to kind of pull our shit together. But I didn't care. I'm sorry. I lose. I tried. I have notes upon notes to try to get this one for the Justice League side. And Pete, your opening salvo, you destroyed them, man. So ladies and gentlemen, I raise my glass high to the winner of the Justice League argument, Mr. Peter Bois.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm glad you see it my way.
I unfortunately do.
Prepare yourself for the Dirty Little Football Quiz. Still love the intro.
It's pretty great.
All right, it's football time. The Patriots are doing awesome. Let's just get into the Dirty Little Football Quiz.
All right, man, let's do it. So here's the deal. We always, during the football season, Pete tells us what's up with his New England Patriots, who he loves so much. For us, we know that not all of you are into sports ball, so what we've decided to do is our Dirty Little Football Quiz. Here's how it works. We've realized that there's a lot of the same terminology in football that is in erotic fiction. I'm going to read 3 quotes from erotic fiction. Pete's job is to identify which word in the erotic excerpt is a football word, to define that word, and then to replace that word with the definition from football. If he can do that 2 out of 3 times, we are going to give you guys a free copy of Nate Staniforth's brand new book. We're going to send that out to you. Okay? All right, Pete. Here's something different that we're going to do this time. Okay?
Rule change.
A little change. Monday Club, I'm going to go ahead and say, first and foremost, this is an experiment. We'll see how this plays out. But I have gotten 0 sleep in the last 3 days, and so I was trying to put together what this Dirty Little Football Quiz was going to be, and I just didn't have time. However, I was listening to my iPod, and it just so happened that a song came on, and I realized that in this song were the same deals of the erotic fiction and of football crossovers. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play you clips of this song. Nice. All right? And your job is to identify the football word and then to try to do it back. If you want to sing it or just, say it out, that's fine, all right?
All right.
All of these come from the same place. It is from a Britney Spears and Rihanna song called S&M. Okay?
Oh, nice.
All right. So
for the record, I have never heard this song. I believe.
Well, good. I have the lyrics, so I'll read you the lyrics afterwards if you need them. But here we go. Here is erotic quiz clip number 1.
Backside.
Let me read you the clip. Here it is. Love is great. Love is fine. Out the box, out the line. The affliction of the feeling leaves me wanting more.
The line.
Nope.
Box.
Box
Woo!
is the correct answer.
Yes. Box. Is this the would that be considered the pocket of the box where the quarterback is?
No, actually, that's the pocket.
That would be the pocket.
Mm-hmm.
The box. Oh my gosh. I am at a loss. Box. Like box out? That's basketball.
I can't wait for basketball season to start.
Like owner's box?
Nope. All right, man. All right. You ready for the definition?
Go for it. I lose this one.
All right. The definition of the box is this: an area on the defensive side of the ball directly opposite the offensive lineman and about 5 yards deep. Having 8 players in the box means bringing in a defensive back to help stop the offensive team's running game. So when you say there's a backs are in the box or whatever, they're basically trying to stuff the offense from a running play.
Gotcha. All right. Well,
Right.
I lose that one.
All right. Well, that's all right. You still got 2 more chances. Here we go. Here is audio clip number 2. Good luck.
I'm going with chains.
Chains is the correct answer.
Chains are refers to the 10-yard markers for the first down. The markers, the chain in between the markers. Bring out the chains.
That is a perfect answer. It's a 10-yard long chain that is used by the officials and the chain crew to measure for a new series of downs. So the chorus goes, "'Cause I may be bad, but I'm perfectly good at it. Sex in the air, I don't care, I love the smell of it. Sticks and stones may break my bones, but chains and whips excite me."
I'm going to go with the last part.
Yeah.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but 10-yard chain in between the first down markers excite me.
That is correct. All right, this is exciting. You're 1 for 1. You're 1 for 2. So this is going to be the one that decides it. Here we go. Clip number 3.
You're going to have to read that one.
Yeah,
I think Rihanna
tough,
was
man.
mumbling.
Yeah, this one's real tough. All right, so this one is, "I love the feeling you bring to me. Oh, you turn me on. That's exactly what I've been yearning for. Give it to me strong."
Strong.
Strong is a correct answer. Good job.
Yes. Thank you so much. Strong. So that refers to the strong side. If you have more guys, more linemen lined up on one side, that is the strong side. And then there's a weak side, which are less guys. So sometimes they run the ball to the strong side. Sometimes they use it as a fake, so they run to the weak side.
That is a correct answer, man. Good job. All right. Strong is, as in the strong side. In general, the strong side is the side of the field, left or right, with the most number of players on it is the strong side. All right. So to finish this out, your quote is this one: "I love the feeling you bring to me. Oh, you turn me on. It's exactly what I've been yearning for. Give it to me strong."
It's exactly what I've been yearning for. Give it to me. A lot of guys on one side of the field.
Oh, my God.
Oh, man.
That is a correct answer.
Someone's getting Nate's book.
Someone is getting Nate's book.
I am glad I could bring that to you all out there. You guys are going to love this book.
Makes me so freaking happy. All right, so here is your job. Your job is on our Facebook page, be the first one to write the secret word of today, which is S&M, and then finish your erotic sentence with "I want a free drink." If you can use S&M and finish the sentence with "I want a free drink" and be the first person on our Facebook page to do that, we will send you a copy of Nate's book this week. So congratulations, Mr. Peter Bois, and thank you all for playing.
Hey, it's time for Stories from the Road.
All right, people. Well, okay, so here's my story from the road. I've been trying really hard to be much better about my eating on the road, and in order to do that, I've decided to basically go vegetarian. Now, I've screwed that up a lot, especially for the Thanksgiving holiday. I've eaten some turkey and pretty fish. Turkey and fish have kind of been the meats that I've eaten.
Those are pretty lean, though. Those are pretty lean.
Yeah,
you're doing all right with those.
Yeah, I'm all right with those, but I'm trying really hard to just do the veggies. And because being on the road, it's tough, man. When you're on the road, most of what you eat is fast food, or if not fast food, then you're going out to Applebee's or your Cracker Barrels or your IHOPs and Waffle Houses, as we've discussed on the last episode. Anyway, I've been trying to be good, and because I've been trying to be good on the road, and I'm new to this whole being a vegetarian thing, it's been rough trying to figure out what to eat at places. So last night, I'm on the road back. It's like, I don't know, it's about 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. We've gone on it's like a 4.5 hour drive to get home from our last venue. And we stop off, James and I were together, and we stopped off at a place to try to grab some food. And the only food that they had there are like hamburgers, sausages, they have brisket, they have like just all the meats, barbecue stuff just wrapped in kolaches.
Perfect for a road vegetarian.
Yeah, exactly, right? And so I'm like, it sucks, man, because the brisket smelled good, the sausages look good, like everything's looking good, but I'm trying really hard to be good. So I asked the lady behind the counter, I was like, hey, so what here is vegetarian? And she looked at me really, like she was so disappointed in me. And she was like, well, we have this egg salad sandwich over here. Now, listen, it's on white bread. I can just see eggs that have been basically pureed and slapped between two pieces of white bread and saran wrapped together off in the corner looking sad by themselves. It's like the kicker for the football team, just all by itself, just over in the corner, right?
And eggs are like almost meat. They're just not quite developed enough yet.
Right. It's pre-meat.
And how much mayonnaise was on that sandwich? That's the question.
I couldn't tell, but I was like, I needed protein, so I was like, fine, eggs sort of fit the bill. So I got the sandwich, and I would just like to publicly apologize to anyone that was around me for the next 8 hours, because it was gastrointestinally, it was not pleasant having a gas station egg salad sandwich. So if you're out there and you are a vegetarian and you've had to deal with these problems, if you could send me some notes and some pointers on how to deal with being road vegetarian, I would certainly appreciate it. And so would, any human being with a nose.
I think the best pointer you're going to get is that you're going to go hungry sometimes.
Yeah, probably, man. Oh God, it was awful. Like it was pretty cold. Like a big cold front started going through. Like the temperature started dropping down into like the 30s, and we're driving down the highway. And pretty much for the last 10 minutes of the drive, we just had to drive with the windows down.
Oh man,
it was awful.
That's awful. Oh man, I've definitely eaten out of gas stations more times than I can count. And yeah, you always look at that sandwich that's been sitting there. And then you look at the hot dogs that are rolling around on that little roller thing, and then you look at the pizza that's been crusting over for 5 hours, and
right,
you're like, which one is not going to make me throw up or give me gastrointestinal problems? And the answer is always all of them.
Yeah. It's like none of the above.
Yeah. Although I always go with like a tuna salad or a egg salad sandwich out of the gas station because they're the most moist sandwiches. Everything else is like dried out. If you get like a turkey sandwich.
Yeah. Like some of looking at those hot dogs that have been rolling around there for 3 days, it's like I don't want to chip a tooth eating a hot dog, right?
Yeah.
So, best case scenario, at least my teeth are good when I'm vomiting at night. Sure.
So quick intestinal check-in. How you doing today?
I'm better.
Okay.
I got it all smoothed out before I went to bed, so it's all good. But it was unpleasant.
Well, I think we've said enough about Gus's farts.
Teachable moments.
All right, so I wish I could take credit for this teachable moment, but this comes from my wife. She made up this snack pack. It's it's like a bucket full of snacks, waters, and Gatorade. And this time of the year is very busy for a particular industry. Well, there's a lot of industries, but the mailman or woman, the UPS person, and the FedEx delivery people, right? They are Santa Claus for everybody. They are delivering
Right.
everybody's gifts, everybody's presents all the time. Their workload goes through the roof this season, and they're out there risking life and limb, from dogs to ice to, I don't know, cats. And and so she put together a snack pack, and I made up a little sign that says, "Dear UPS people, we know this is the UPS and post office people. We know this is the most busy time of the season for you. Please have a snack from us. Happy holidays." And so we left it out there for the FedEx people and the UPS people and the USPS people in their time of busyness. So do something nice for them. They work hard bringing your packages all year long, and they could break them on purpose. So make sure you butter them up.
It's true. That's so cool, man. I think I will follow suit. I think that's a really nice and easy thing that you can do. The Amazon delivery people come to my house basically 3 times a day now. I mean, just that I feel so bad watching how much work that they have to do. So yeah, having a nice little snack or some water out there for them would be pretty cool.
Yeah, just feeling appreciated always helps anyone, right?
Yeah. Okay, so because you had a feel-good teachable moment, I went ahead and put together one of the new teachable moments that I've sort of started doing in I'd call it the last year, and it's a super easy charitable thing that you guys can do out there. So when you are traveling, anytime you go to a hotel or a motel or anything like that, they always stack the room with soaps that are in the little plastic containers, and with toiletries like shampoo and conditioner, lotion, those kind of things. And they have the disposable bottles. Well, what I've started doing is collecting those things, just taking all of the, it's still in the packages, mostly unused, taking all of those toiletries and putting them in a bag in my travel bag. I got this tip from Miss Kim Johnson, so shout out to you, Kim. But collecting those things, and after a tour season, I'll have a giant bag filled with these disposable toiletries, and then dropping that bag off either at a church or a homeless shelter, or just giving it to a homeless person who's on the corner on the side of the road. But it's a really easy way that those people can get clean. It's a nice hygiene for them, and it's all sealed. It's all really nice, and it's all really convenient and easy for them to travel around or to share with some of the people that they interact with as well. So that's my teachable moment, is if you're at a hotel, collect those things, but don't keep them. Give them to homeless people. It's a really easy way that you can show some love and help them out when their time of need.
That's a great idea. Thanks for that tip.
Yeah.
That is really
I
great.
wish I could take credit for it, but it is something that I've started doing.
Nice. Very good.
Yeah.
Well, there you have it. That's our seasonal giving teachable moments.
That was nice.
Yeah. Hey, Gus, do you know what this sound is? You know what that is?
That was the sound of me punching you in the shoulder really hard next time I see you. Or maybe just eating a gas station egg salad sandwich and then coming and spending the night at your house.
That's the sound of me finishing my free drink. Thanks, Balchunas. Oh, thank you guys so much for being part of the club. Check us out, MondayClubPodcast.com. All the socials up there. Also, Facebook.com/Monday Club Podcast. Twitter @MondayClubPod. Instagram @MondayClubPodcast. I've been posting a lot more pictures to Instagram. Check it out. Also, email us questions, comments, concerns. You want to buy us a drink? PayPal us at MondayClubPodcast@gmail.com. Thank you very much to James Caldwell, our amazing sound engineer, and Zach Holder for our music. Go out there and be merry and happy and give some snacks away.